G'day folks, welcome to the channel. Marty Winners here. Today I'm talking about this tube on the back of the bike. A few people have asked me about this tube as to what it is. Well, to keep it simple, it's a tool tube. Holds all the tools required to change the tube or repair the tubes on this bike. As well as this, I also have a pump underneath the seat and a multi-spanner which fits the front and rear axles to take the axles off, obviously. So this tube itself sits here right in this position. It's sitting here loose at the moment. It just sits a little bit above the exhaust pipe, probably about a centimetre, 2 centimetres above the exhaust pipe. It's not affected by heat in any way, and it's in a really good position, especially on this bike here, because the racks themselves are quite wide. They're probably too wide, to tell you the truth, but it does give you a lot of room to play with to fit things onto the bike. As you would have seen possibly in one of my other videos, on the left hand side of the bike there's a fuel canister there, so I thought I'd use this space here and fit this tube. My son gave me this. He's a farmer and they've got a new tractor on the farm, and it had one of these attached to it. It held the owner's manual and the safety manuals, etc. He keeps them in the cabin. He said he didn't need it, and I was asking him if he had any spare on the farm, and yes, sure enough he did, and he said, give that a try, Dad. But you can get these on eBay, Amazon and places like that. I think they range from about $25 to about $50, or you could try your local sort of agricultural shop, farm shop, I suppose John Deere dealer, Massey Ferguson and all that sort of stuff. They'll be able to get them, but you'll probably pay a mozza there. Probably best just to go to eBay. So normally I'd have this attached with 5 or 6 military spec zip ties. I did that about 6 months ago just as a bit of a trial run with the mindset of making proper brackets to hold it on, but it worked. I left it. I didn't worry about it, and usually it's covered with pannier bags and you don't see it. So I'm just going to rip it off here. It's just sitting there, as I said, and show you it. So that's it there. It's quite robust. It's quite strong. It's solid plastic. It's probably like that ABS plastic or something like that. You know, takes a lot of bumps. It's waterproof. It's dust proof, and it can hold a fair bit. You can see it's got these brackets on the bottom here which come with 3 or 4 holes already in it. I've drilled a few more holes in it just to line up with the rack so I can run the zip ties around it, and also future, you know, put proper brackets on it. Yeah, you don't really see a lot of that. Alright, so pretty straightforward. There's the cap. Just twists off. I had it on loose there, guys. Usually it's a lot tighter, but I've been messing around for it to get it off. It's pretty easy just to screw it off at the back, and when you screw it off, you know, sitting in there, you know, it comes off. There's all your tools. You can just drag them all out and put them all back in. You can see there, it's fairly neatly packed in. There's quite a few tools in there. I'll take them apart in a moment and show you what's in the container. Now, some people, I'll just pick up that little lid that's fallen on the ground there. So I'll just put this on. I won't do it right up. You can see that's pretty straightforward to do it up. Some people carry them on their racks, on the side of their top rack. I've seen them across underneath here. I've seen them on the side of the bike, hanging off the protection guards, and also hanging on the front of the bash plate, which is all good. It's all good, it works. Me, I've chosen to put it there. So yeah, pretty good. I'm happy with it. I'm really happy with it. It's a worthwhile addition. It only weighs a few 100 grams, so you know, no problem there. And the tools, you've got to carry them anyway. So let's take it apart and I'll show you what's inside it. Okay, so here's the tube. Let's have a look inside it. Now, pretty easy to open, as I said. Just turn the lid, rip this cap off. It's a few turns to get it off. No worries. And so what's in there? Alright, duct tape, pretty standard. There's duct tape, and there's also plenty of zip ties all over the bike. So we'll put that there. A couple of tyre levers, 2 of those. 2. 2 Motion Pro bead breakers. I would not leave home without these. Now these are the more expensive ones. They're the lightweight aluminium ones, but they are very strong. I think they're about 130 or 140 Australian dollars for it. You can get the steel ones, which I think probably about 70 or 80 dollars. Don't quote me on that. A little bit heavier. I bought these because they were lighter, trying to save a bit of weight. Doesn't save a real lot of weight. You can get some knockoff ones, but I don't know if the knockoff ones, which are a lot cheaper, if they were as good, but I assume these would be a lot better. So there's 2 of those. They, as I said, have served me very well out in the field. I've seen people on hot days trying to take off a heavy tyre, especially one of these modern adventure tyres, which tend to be quite solid on the side, and their beads, you know, hold the rim quite well. Chuck these in, snap that bead off, and before you know it, you've ripped the tire off and you're fitting a new tube. So 2 of those in there. With those there, I really only need 1 lever. I tend to only use, say, 1 lever, but I'll carry all 4 there. So generally I'd need only the 2 bead pros and 1 lever. Thankfully on this bike here, I haven't had to change a tube or repair a tube. Just on tubes, I carry a spare tube, which is a front tube. Minimum tube you should have as a spare on your bike is the front. The front you can slip into the rear, you know, to get you home and get you by. That's not a problem. If I'm going on a longer trip, I'll have a front and a rear. Inside the actual tyres, I've got 4mm thick tubes. Now, running a good tyre with plenty of tread on it and 4mm tubes, you tend not to get too many punches unless you're going, you know, really extreme and hitting a lot of sharp rocks and the like. You know, you're probably more likely to split a tyre and you have problems there. Next thing, this thing here, it's this blue thing. It's got a bit of wire on it, a little attachment there. You slip that through your rim, through the hole and the rim where the valve goes through, and helps you to drag the valve through, the tube valve through the rim. It can be quite difficult trying to get that through, especially with the hard-walled sort of tyres and that, trying to get your fingers in to drag through. So as you sort of put the tube in, push this through the hole, attach it to the valve and pull it through, and it makes life really easy. You know, they're only about 10 bucks, I suppose. You can pick them up for $3 or $4 on eBay, usually about 10 bucks in the shop. That there is a valve remover. As well as that, my caps on the bike are valve removers as well. What I mean by that is the caps that are on the valve stems on the bike, they've got this little duvlacky piece up top here, so you can sort of take the cap off, turn it upside down, push it in, and remove the valve. So effectively all 3 of these on there. You know, they're only a few cents as well off eBay. So yeah, let's put that down on the ground. The next one. Drag the bag out. This bag here, it's got some just normal electrical tape and a tube repair kit, so you've got patches and glue and the like. Zip down here amongst all the zip ties. There's a chain breaker. It's a fairly simple one, about 40-50 bucks I suppose, Australian dollars. So yeah, you can see just on the side there, that pin there. Put your chain link through there, push that through, and it'll push the little pin out, and you can remove your chain. Easy as. So slide all that down there. In here, hidden away, see him right there, is a spare link for my bike. Now this spare link is for this bike I've got here, my Tenere 700. It won't fit all chains. I am thinking about carrying a couple of extra spare links for other chains, just in case my mates break down. You know, it's always great to be able to pull out the parts and get them on the road. So yeah, fairly straightforward. Like I said, there's your tube repair kit with a bit of electrical tape, your chain breaker, your valve puller, duct tape, 2 tyre levers, and 2 Motion Pro bead breakers. Really good. As I showed you on the bike, we've also got the pump there and the tool required to remove the back wheel. So all in all, I think I've got everything there to fix a puncture on the side of the road. I've never had an issue, and I know all the guys I ride with, they also carry tools and kits for tube repairs and other repairs, so together we'll be able to fix something on the side of the road. I've just pulled the seat off the Tenere just to show you where I sort of pack all my I suppose my tools and the like, the extra tools. This is the tools beyond the items that are supplied by Tenere or Yamaha themselves. So I mentioned I've got a pump. Yep, there's the pump. It's all in the bag. It just sits there above the battery. Over here, it's a spare rag for whatever. But inside that rag, if I can get it out, is the tool that I use to remove the wheels. It's really strange. I'm finding a lot of modern bikes, they don't supply the tool required to undo the rear axle and the front axle. So you've got to go source it yourself. Yeah, so I bought this online from the UK. I'll put a link down the bottom as to where it come from. It wasn't cheap, but yeah, it fits everything. It's got, you know, all the right bits and pieces. That part there would fit into the front axle. That part on the back there for the rear axle. And yeah, also acts as a socket as well. Everything you need there to pull the wheels off. Going beyond that, obviously I said, pump there, that's a multi-tool. Pretty straightforward. It's got screwdriver, pliers, knife, scissors, all that sort of stuff. And below that, I've just got the standard Yamaha toolkit, which is pretty basic, pretty useless, but it'll come in handy one day, I'm sure. And that's where I can plug my pump into. Just run it off the side. I've actually got a little adapter down the side as well that I can plug the pump in. Hey guys, thanks for watching today. I hope you enjoyed the presentation. Like always, please hit that like button, and if you haven't already, subscribe, and also share. It really helps the channel out. If there's anything you want to know more about, please send me a message and I'll get back to you. Until we see you again, cheers.